Past life regression is real and legitimate. It allows you to tap into your subconscious mind, which is like the hard drive of a computer, where every experience you have ever had is stored. The hypnosis puts you in an altered brainwave state, like when you are dreaming, but you are able to consciously communicate with a regressionist to access information that is relevant to you in this lifetime. For example, say you are struggling with something in this lifetime that is unexplainable, like a fear of water, and you want to know why. You book a PLR and uncover a memory of a life where you drowned. The fear of water dissipates because you understand why you were so scared of water. Uncovering the memory helps you in your current life. Therapists can also use regression techniques to uncover repressed memories in this lifetime. Being in a past life looks the same way as having a memory come into your mind from this lifetime. How does it look and feel when you remember something that happened to you in this life? That is the same as what happens during a PLR. How do you know it is real? Because you experienced it. Do you doubt your memories? You can think of past life memories as being stored in a different folder on the hard drive. The reason we can't remember everything that has ever happened to us as a soul is that firstly, we are meant to focus on this lifetime we are living right now, and we regain access to all of this information after our physical death. Secondly, the dimension we chose to incarnate into now doesn't allow us as easy of access to this database as other dimensions. Think of it as a password-protected file. If you can figure out the key, you can unlock the files. PLR is a type of key we have figured out. Meditation can also allow you to gain access to these files. At the root of everything is your belief system. If you believe that it isn't real, then it isn't real for you. That does not mean it is not real for another. Experience is the best teacher. Find a well-trusted regression therapist and experience for yourself if you are interested in past lives. Some of the lives I have remembered and facilitated are boring and some are extraordinary. I will say that you need a neutral and open mind in order for it to work, or your rational mind will interfere with the process. I am trained in past life regression. I urge clients to look up any small details that they notice during a session. I could be a flag seen on a ship, a specific tool. I had a client who was using a really strange farm implement made of wood, and he was able to do a search and find it. One of my clients saw herself going into the cellar of her house and drowning in an inside well. Again, looked it up in cisterns whirling way back. She thought that she was making it up because it didn't seem to be a possibility. I've had a few clients who specifically were able to find their actual past selves. One man was a French explorer and jewel trader who wrote a book about his explorations in the 1700s. Another client was a lady-in-waiting who went on to marry a duke, I think. From the information we had, we found him, and then mention of her. If you look up Jenny Cockle, she was an English woman who had recurring memories throughout her life of being a mother in Ireland who died in childbirth. She was eventually able to find her children, who were all now in their 70s and 80s. She reunited with them and they all accepted that she was indeed their mother. She wrote an amazing book about it, Across Time and Death. Sadly, I just looked and it's out of print. I bought the book when it first came out, but lent it to someone, somewhere. I facilitated a session where the client, who lives in a different country and was born there, experienced being in an extremely specific Native American tribe that lived in a very narrow strip of Louisiana. She described the food they ate, the culture, the clothes, religious practices, living conditions, hairstyles, and then I was able to verify that the tribe existed afterwards. It was spot on. Blew my mind. Just watch this interview, Life Between Lives, Jonathan's Past Life Regression, Elizabeth at Castle Otway, Soul Guide EP6. The guy found the exact identity and location of his past life as a woman who lived in a stone castle. It's quite remarkable. Hi, beautiful soul. I can share with you my understanding. I would not classify the brain as the mind, it is a receiver of consciousness. To me, the mind consists of three parts. A brief overview of these three parts, as I see it, is the conscious, decision maker and controller of the avatar, subconscious, database and operating system, and superconscious, connection tether to source spirit God, high self. Soul level awareness. Your consciousness can access the quantum field, it is energy and everything around us is energy. The quantum is a field of energy that connects everything, it is the energy of source creation. It is also where the Akashic Records are stored, an energetic library of every experience, thought, emotion, you or anyone has ever had in any lifetime. Your memories from every life you've ever lived are locked in forever to the Akashic Records. This library is available at any time and in any place by anyone who seeks to use the knowledge with pure intention and heart-centeredness. You use conscious intent to receive the downloads for what you seek answers to. The Akashic Records are similar to the internet. Your conscious mind types something into the search bar and information comes into your awareness. Often we can think we are making something up from imagination, but practicing listening to your intuition superconsciousness high self is a valuable tool to have in your arsenal. You can choose to then download a particular experience into your current awareness for use in learning and growth of the soul. That is what the information is there for. Your brain may not travel interdimensionally, but with practice and intention your consciousness can. When you access these memories from a different time-space dimension, the imprint of that experience stays with you much like a memory from your current life. Think about something you did 2 months ago, that is the same experience as accessing a past life memory. Often past life energies bleed over into this life as emotions. Emotions equals energy and motion. Emotions are divine intelligence signaling to you what programs are running. They run via the programming stored in the subconscious. The conscious mind makes an imprint of an experience, positive or negative, and stores it in the subconscious, SE. The SE uses deduction to run programs. It associates similar situations' energies and the imprint they have made on us, and then brings up what it determines to be the appropriate response to the external stimulus. For example, if the SE determines to run a fear program because something is happening to trigger the reaction of fear, your body will trigger the sympathetic nervous system and cause you to take action based on survival mechanisms. You can use your conscious mind to determine if the program is true or false and rewrite the programming to align with a higher vibrational state of being. It can be something like you feel fear of heights, dogs, water, etc., because in a past life you were killed by it and your SE remembers the imprint it made onto you. Or you can pick up a program of a belief that you are not worthy by the way your parents treated you as a child. There are endless ways to store these programs. Ascension mastery spiritual growth comes from understanding these SE programs, the lessons they have for us as souls, and expanding our awareness into the creator beings of spirit that we are here in the physical. There is a lot more to be said on all of this, but I hope this helps on your journey. Another anecdote from the community, well, it's a long story, but to make it short, I've seen things in my meditations and Googled them, and upon Googling them I found they are similar to things I remember. Also, I was murdered, and the man that did it confessed to what he did so I could confirm if his recollection of events is similar to what I saw or not. And also other little things that clicked, like I always felt a connection to a certain place and found out I am from there in a past life. I always saw my past life appearances a certain way that got confirmed, and lately I found out that I have similar astrological placements in both my birthday and death day. I saw postcards from places and my meditations, details about my life that turned out that were accurate to something. All that. There are many university-based researchers who have studied extensively and verified the cases of rebirth they've studied. Additionally, the Tibetan Buddhist tradition seeks out previous teachers that have passed away in order to find their rebirth. In some cases, the Dalai Lama is directly involved, although this is infrequent. The Tibetan Buddhist teacher Dzogchen Rinpoche V was imprisoned in Tibet after the Chinese invasion in 1959. The Chinese offered him a position as a puppet in their government. To this he refused, resulting in an indefinite prison term. He had often been ill, was of small stature, and enjoyed little comforts in prison. He'd been telling his fellow friends both in prison and prior to that how in his next life he would be tall, strong, healthy, and not get sick much. He died in prison after several years of confinement because the conditions were extremely harsh. In 1968, he was reborn in southern India in a Tibetan settlement, then discovered by a team of searchers at the age of 16. He is about 6 feet 2 inches tall, very healthy, rarely gets sick, and is robust. The fellow monks used to call him Iron Man as a nickname because of his good health. He was interviewed recently on the Be Here Now network by Raghu Marcus. Here's a link. You can research the process of finding previous spiritual teachers in the Tibetan tradition. As for the common persons, there are thousands of cases researched in their files over the past 3-4 decades. Research this online for yourself. I tried the past life regression session on YouTube, and this is what happened. I've always had memories of a flower field near a White House. I always dismissed them. During the session I went back to that place and got inside the house. In the beginning the house was full. At that point I felt empty, I was emotionless. I was just there, no feelings, I didn't say a word to anyone. The house became empty and I was alone in it. I stood by the dining room looking at a particular chair and I remember not feeling anything. I went to the bedroom I slept in. I remember it being a safe haven for me. I later died in that room, alone. At the point of my death I felt free, there was no pain. A woman then come close to me and I immediately recognized them. She told me she loved me. The memories I had with her came back. I shared that house